I just right before, like, what am I doing?
I hoped.
What's
I hope
happening?
that. So as you can tell, we're playing musical chairs today. Musical chairs, hype. Peter's with me. Yannick is here.
Yes, he's over there. Can he talk?
I am.
Yes, he begged us to let him have a go on the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm just hidden. I'm
seriously.
just a ghost. I don't exist.
That's not the case. As you may tell, we don't have a production crew. So Yannick is running the cameras. I'm here. I'll be there in a second. Peter's going to be there where Yannick is. Yannick's going to be over there because I did mention it before. There's going to be live gameplay today. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be
But
really,
before we get
really
into
exciting.
that, because we also have some other people here as well. That's Terry and Keith from Redstone.
I'm
we'll
touching
talk to them.
Terry's face right now.
We'll talk to them in a few minutes. There are some issues with the game right now. We had a maintenance today, and there was a bug where players would not get retroactive commendations, which are fixed.
That's fixed.
Correct.
Yep.
But there are two kind of main issues right now.
There are,
we've talked about it on the forums. We've come across, I think, pretty clearly with our statement.
Yep.
The RPM glitch. People
yes,
who
it's called it's called the RPM glitch,
Yep.
and we are aware. We have a fix.
Okay.
It's not been deployed yet.
No.
As soon as it's done and tested, we'll deploy it as soon as possible.
Exactly.
And do remember the statement we did on the forums and on Twitter that if you use it and abuse it, well, we will take action against you.
Yes. Sanctions will be imposed.
Sanctions will.
I've been watching way too many political dramas. But also beyond that, so you've been warned.
Yep.
If you go ahead and do that, you're at risk of getting banned. And I know people. I've seen people a lot of conversation about it. They're just saying that.
No.
Well, no. So just you've
be
been
aware,
warned. And also, it's kind of just a dick move. The official statement is that's a dick move. But there's another one, the bolt action sniper rifle's not working quite right.
Yeah, there's a yamming issue where
Yeah.
you fire and then suddenly your gun jams up. That is, we are aware of that as well, and we're fixing it.
Yes.
The only thing is that it's a client-side fix, so it might take a little while.
Sure. So Yannick and I talked about this last week on State of the Game. Obviously, we've got 1.8, and we'll talk about that very soon, but there will be a client patch before 1.8, which some fixes will be in, and we'll have more information about that, but that's not a today thing.
No.
5 and 6 piece bonuses for future classified gear sets are visible at the recal station.
They are.
Bug, disregard any of that information there. Obviously, they need to be, they're not implemented yet, and they will be subject to change.
Yeah, they're definitely subject to change. It's just a development thing. Totally disregard them. I've seen a couple of discussions about it, like this is. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Those are still in development.
Yeah.
Heavy development.
Yes, and you'll see their actual incarnations very soon. But that's it. So a few of the other things. There's obviously masks and leaderboards in the next global event.
Yep.
And we're going to have Terry and Keith, and we'll probably touch that very, very soon with them. But the masks that we talked about last week, those should be on the way very soon.
Yep.
Based on the percentages that we told you. If you're not sure about what we're talking about, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. So they should come end of this week or early next week.
Yes. Okay. So the delay of global event number 2, I think we're pretty close to hitting it as to what the intended date was.
Yeah.
It may be 1 to 2 weeks behind.
Yeah.
That will have some context very soon because like we said, we weren't quite happy with the leaderboard system, and there will be some changes to that for global event number 2.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to let Terry talk about that because I think
Terry
that's
has
really cool.
some good, cool news about that.
Yes, they're very cool news, and we'll save that for the Redstone guys because they did it, not us.
Yeah.
And this weekend, what's happening this weekend?
This weekend we're doing a special event again.
Woo!
So we're going to give out. Oh, that's my camera now.
Yeah.
We're going to do the extra drop from named enemies again.
Yeah.
So you'll get kill the named enemies, get an extra drop.
But this time, since classified gear can drop from named enemies, that's included?
No.
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 Damn it!
I'm sorry.
I quit.
I'm so sorry, but no.
All right. All right. No, it's still fine. It's still good.
You're good. Yeah.
I still like you.
Oh, that's good. Sorry.
All right.
All right.
That's okay. I'll manage. I want to get straight to the next part because the next part's going to be where all the fun happens.
Yeah.
If you missed it yesterday, we dropped the trailer for 1.8, and I've seen a lot of people excited about it. I'm excited about it. Yannick's excited to play it in just a second. He's smiling. He's very
He's
happy.
giddy.
Bad acting. I'm not acting. I'm just bad. There you go. But 1.8 is coming very, very soon. So we're going to play that trailer. We're going to play some musical chairs, and we'll be back in just a second with Terry and Keith. All right, let's go.
We fought to save our city, but the fight is far from over. West Side Pier. Our enemies are regrouping, and worse, they're working together. They've decided that we are their common enemy. We only have one option. Do whatever it takes. Whoever we're up against, to take back the West Side Pier.
All right, we are getting ready for the next part of the stream. I've got Terry and Keith with me here. Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
All right,
Hello.
we should be able to hear you as well. Fantastic. Okay, 1.8 guys. This is your baby. Not gonna lie. All right.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, so
we love our baby.
we got a chance to kind of look at it at the ETF, right? So there's a lot to go through today. This one's going to run a little long. I hope people are okay with that. I know we try and keep things as as close to half an hour as possible. Are you guys okay to go a little bit over half an hour?
I think so.
Yeah,
I might have to use the bathroom.
We're at your disposal.
All right. Well, we'll see if chat is okay with that, but I don't think there's going to be any problems there. Okay. So for the people, we have consistently new people coming to the game. For the people that haven't been here, my name's Hamish. I'm a community developer here, and the other two are here with me in the room, Peter and Yannick. But Terry and Keith, you guys are at Redstone. Can you just say hi and let us know who you are?
Terry, creative director here at Redstorm on the Division.
Cool.
And I'm Keith, lead designer here at Redstorm on the Division.
All right. Perfect. That was easy. It's like you've done this before.
Thanks.
All right. So
Yeah.
in the trailer, there's a couple of drops on there that people have seen. Resistance is one of them, and Skirmish is the other. And obviously 1.8 is bigger than those two things, and people will learn that as we get through it. But can we just kind of go through Resistance and Skirmish from a very, very top level?
Sure.
What is Resistance, firstly?
Well, Resistance is the Division's take on Horde mode, if we just wanted to be straight up.
Blunt. I love it.
Yeah, just straight in.
To the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
And designed to be highly replayable and available for the casual player, right? But also the ultimate test for our most devoted player base.
So I'm sure
It's the new activity that just doesn't give up. It will
right.
keep coming at you.
Cool. I'm sure we'll get into some specific questions soon, but the first one I have is, so you can play it solo?
You sure can.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's awesome. So it scales and all of that. Yes,
Yep.
okay, I'm cool. Top level of Skirmish, what is that?
Skirmish is, I think, what we've all wanted, right?
For a very long
4v4 key-based PvP.
With no AI.
Yeah. Custom-built maps, and nice, short, fast, fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's intense.
So less running, more fighting?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's all about the combat.
All right, that's perfect. All right, so we're not going to show everything today. Just a disclaimer, 1.8 isn't dropping next week, so we've got some time to show you everything that's coming in 1.8. But the big new thing coming in 1.8 is a new zone. Actually, no, 2 new zones. Is that right, guys?
Yep.
Sure is.
All right, so can you tell us a little
Big.
bit about West Side Pier? Because I mean, I know people have like kind of glitched out into an early version of placeholder stuff, but what is West Side Pier?
Well, new map exploration, right? I think I think the high-level plan that we executed upon was really, we want to give players a new place to explore, open up parts of Manhattan they've never seen before, give them reasons to explore it, and make it a new place, a new dynamic place, a new way to interface with the open world.
Yeah, it's a open world zone, PvE zone, but it plays very different from the open world that players are familiar with. It's a more dynamic place that every time you enter it, you're getting new challenges and there's kind of new little things for you to do.
Cool. Yeah, it's so different that we created a whole new spawn system.
I was just going to say that. So I kind of went through the build yesterday with Tony, and the AI spawning is completely different, and it felt really cool, like an entirely new, like, I don't know, you're kind of getting ganked by AI. It was very cool.
It's super nice. I'm sure people saw it in the trailer, right? And it's been on all the blogs and stuff. The factions are working together, so the dynamic spawning plus the synergies between the factions.
It's an interesting thing to be fighting LMB, have them drop a support station down, and have it, healing the cleaners as they close in on you. Like it's a cool new dynamic.
It's kind of mean, actually.
I was just gonna say, you guys are evil.
Jerks.
Yeah, kind of mean.
Oh, total jerks. I mean, we could talk about it all day, but I feel like we should show it. If you guys are cool with that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right,
Show.
let's take a look and see if we can get a feed from Yannick's point of view. Yes. Oh man, why you got to do that? All right, so we got Yannick and Tony who are going to give us the tour around, and people have already picked up on Megalodon, Terry. So we have our extra cast member. Perfect. Love it.
Nice.
All right, so what are we looking at, guys? This is a new safe house.
This is Camp Clinton. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a safe house. I think of it as terminal light.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's got all the stuff that you kind of expect to find to kind of kick off your gameplay session. So your calibration and crafting and all your vendors, and but it's also got things added that are kind of new to the Westside peers. So you'll be able to track your weekly assignments, things like that.
Stuff for resistance, stuff for skirmish, and a couple of things.
Very cool. All right, and there are stairs. That's great. So where is Tony going to take Yannick today? Where are we going to go?
Well, I'm sure he'll hit a few of the POIs. We actually, this isn't necessarily rehearsed.
No, this is definitely not rehearsed, so I'm sure something disclaimer, everyone in chat, this is a development build. As you can see, those gates that are in there will not be in the version that you play. And I'm not even going to make a joke that I was going to make earlier, because it'll make some people
You
very
can make a joke.
Terry, you can do it. But no, we were going to make a joke about microtransaction gates. But don't worry about it.
That's not happening.
No, it's not happening.
You did the joke.
But yes, those gates, we use those for development stuff. And also in this build, you will see some of the icons on the map are not accurate. For example, some activities don't have difficulties like the map may tend towards. But this is where we are, the new zone. All right, so northwest of where people have been playing, right?
Yep. This is where the new spaces are for skirmish. You have activities that are going to draw players up and around, all around the space for exploration.
Okay.
And that's when you'll get jumped by all the dynamic, awesome spawning.
Yes.
We're actually going to be feeding players something called alerts. So
right.
Shade will be delivering alerts to you constantly, and there'll be alerts in the north and alerts in the south. And that really drives, let's say, the loop of exploration and gameplay.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited about these, just because every time you come in, they will be in different locations. You might have slightly different objectives, and on top of that, the combat's different because all the actual AI spawning is dynamic.
Right. Sometimes the AI that spawn, they'll be absolutely aware of you, and they will get right on you. And sometimes they won't, and you'll have an opportunity to surprise them.
Yes. So I see people in chat talking about it, and they're asking, like, is there a new incursion? There is not a new incursion in 1.8, but while there is no new incursion, and there's a lot of activities in the open world, there is narrative elements. So
Yes,
I talked
correct.
about that with Tony yesterday. Tony's the other Redstorm. Tony's a producer, right, on your side?
The man.
The man.
Yes.
The one, the
Yep.
The Sturtle. So we were going through it yesterday, and there's some interesting narrative in there. And I don't want to spoil things for people, but there's a whole chunk of audio logs that.
Yes, I'm glad you don't want to spoil it. There's a lot, in fact.
Yes.
A lot of continuation and explanation, but you have to explore West Side Piers to find out what that is.
Yes, probably more than people realize. Anyway,
Yeah.
but so we kind of saw the Intrepid just before.
That's beautiful.
Yannek's looking at it right now. That big battleship thing's called the Intrepid.
Aircraft carrier.
Sorry, I said battleship. I didn't mean it.
That's all right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. I'm glad I had someone here to keep me accurate.
We'll just fact check you.
All right. So what's going to happen on the Intrepid, guys? Can we talk about that?
So you do a few things around that area. So most of this open world is totally free for you to explore, right? And then some areas are built specifically for the gameplay of skirmish and resistance. So actually getting inside and going through the belly of the Intrepid is something that you'll do as you explore deeper into the resistance game mode.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, that's cool. So we're heading up on the west side. What's kind of the next area that we'll come across with Tony? Tony could lead Yannick anywhere. I'm really not sure where we're going to go.
Yeah. Well, the POIs that we dropped inside the West Side Piers are extensive, and of course we used the same, recreation that we did in the whole game. So you can imagine that if there's a POI or something fancy that you would expect to be there in real life, you're going to see it in West Side Piers. There are 3 main spaces that we built for
the totally new gameplay for skirmish and resistance.
Okay.
And so Intrepid is the one nearest to Camp Clinton. And
as you move a little bit further north, you kind of go out onto the piers and you're kind of down by the water. It's really kind of a cool new environment. Lots of shipping containers and cool kind of ins and outs. And then as you move further all the way north, you kind of start exploring the subterranean areas of West Side Piers.
stuff underneath. I like subterranean, that's a good word.
So Tony took me around a couple of areas, and I'm interested to see if he takes Yannick there today. There was I saw a car wash.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there's a car wash.
What's the car wash? I don't know if we're going to see that.
Yeah, I think they're heading over there.
We're going to go there. My favorite, not to distract from the car wash, but there's actually a club.
Yeah.
Can we go to the club?
Awesome.
Oh, the club is so
Huge
cool.
fan of the club.
I know
Yeah.
people thought the rave room was cool in the underground, and it is, but the floor in the club is a bit ridiculous, guys. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
There's the car wash.
All right, so let's go through the
Little-
car wash. Apparently, I'm playing, right?
So,
Peter, you,
so alerts can happen in any
Peter,
number of these locations,
you got my lower third up.
which is nice.
Yeah, you might have an alert that tells you to come and that AI are kind of taking over this location. So you'll have this kind of big fight in this particular POI and up on the roofs of this building. But then the next time you come here, you might be protecting a Shade Tech terminal in that nightclub.
Cool.
Yep.
That's really cool. Sorry, I just got to tell Peter one thing. Peter, if you type, it'll hotkey to certain things. So don't type on that machine. That'd be cool. But I see what you mean. So yeah, I see people in chat talking about the bag size is 500. Again, development build. There will not be 500 size bags in the game. That's just for our
Sorry,
testing
guys.
purposes. Sorry, guys. All right, are we headed to the club?
Item management on a 500 size bag.
Yeah. Right. All right. This is cool. No, this area looks awesome, guys. I'm
Thank you.
so excited about what you guys have put out. Very, very cool.
One thing we really tried to push, LD-wise, is the fact that these spaces are really connected, right? Like he was in the car wash, seamlessly went up onto the rooftops. There's multiple ways to hit this nightclub, but you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go, right? And the AI are going to spawn around you, depending on the routes you take.
Oh,
Nice.
get in the club, yo.
Go now. Oh yeah.
I expect to see
Yeah, go check
many
out the floor.
gifs
It's so cool.
of people emoting in the club.
It's an aquarium.
Dude, that floor is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The art staff crushed it.
My first thought when I saw that, and I asked Tony, I was like, how expensive is that floor? Or have you guys done some absolute magic trickery? What's going on there?
We have an amazing tech art staff that we're able to provide the magic required for something like that, and to still have the factions and the AI spawning. I salute them. They crushed it.
That's crazy. That's really cool. It looks awesome.
Thank you.
So something cool I want to point out here is like they moved through that nightclub. Now they're a little bit further north.
Yeah.
And so they've been given a new objective in the northern, more northern section of the map, right? To like push them to a new location to help them explore further.
Yeah. Tony actually brought up this yesterday, Terry, and I wanted to talk about it with you because you said that you would be much better to talk about it. But this area, I think we're going into the park here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, DeWitt Park.
So there's obviously a lot of visual storytelling going on as well. Or maybe not obvious because it's, you know, not really what a lot of people look at. But there's like a mass grave up here, right?
There sure is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, not cool. Mass graves aren't cool, but...
yeah, but I feel you, dog.
Yeah, you got me.
Well, it ties in a lot to a lot of the lore of the Dark Zone, right? Obviously, you'll see a lot of body vaults in the Dark Zone. You'll recognize that for those players that go to the Dark Zone. And this happens to be right on the route, the delivery route that they were taking bodies out of the Dark Zone and initially burying them here properly, as opposed to some of the improper burial that you saw in DZ North, when eventually they just started dumping bodies. So this was sort of the beginning of, hey, we're going to treat this nicely. We're going to respect the dead. And then obviously the collapse continued and hell broke loose.
Yeah, this is before it's completely out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like ground zero for zombies?
Sure, you said it, not me.
No, sorry, I mean, I say that sometimes, but it's honestly, yeah, never gonna happen, guys, never.
Nope.
Someone in chat saying this is really New York. Actually, one of the buildings that I saw was like that sail building. I don't know, that might be on our list of things to look at today, but that's basically 100% accurate, right?
Yeah, it is. That's always our goal with the division is to make it real, so players can visit these locations just like they do in real life, as real as possible, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to
legal
do
pending.
a couple of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all there. It's all there. We wanted to treat it with as much respect as we've been doing this whole time.
Awesome. There's also this. I think this might be the area. No, I saw yesterday when I was looking around the cleaners kind of base that they have up here, where there's the depot, their production line. Is that on the list of places we're going to look at today?
Yeah, we're getting close to that. This is kind of the outskirts of that area. So when they move a little more north, I think we'll check that out.
Someone's using Showstopper. Nice.
That building is actually one of my favorite ones. That's another real place in New York where the building goes around the street, right? Cars, a main street drives straight through the middle of the building, and we were able to kind of recreate that. It's pretty cool.
So I think the guys are still heading north. That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't want to hit this point too hard, but that guy there up on the roof of the car that kind of ambushed them, I've never seen that guy there. He's totally spawned to give them a new challenge.
Can you go a little bit into how that system works? Tony tried to explain it to me a little bit. I mean, I found it super interesting, so I guess I want to see how you guys explain it and see if it's just as interesting.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, basically what it's doing is we have a bunch of behind-the-scenes tuning we can do, right, to try to create different paces of gameplay for the players, different AI combinations. But we're filling it with possibilities, and then based on where the player is, it's spawning unique engagements each time. So it's based on the player's line of sight, where they are, what kind of smart spawn locations there are to place an enemy at, and then there's a whole budget system that's kind of tracking how much AI budget is there to spawn? How many AI can I spawn right now? How difficult can I make this combat for players, right? So when you're playing Resistance, it has a lot more room to make things very challenging for you. When you go do the alerts, it's more challenging than this. So we can kind of fine-tune and craft gameplay while still keeping it really replayable because it's different every time.
That was the huge push, was the dynamic nature of it, the fact that it's going to be different every time you play. Anytime you step into West Side Pier, you're going to have a different experience, whether that's the different alerts, different AI structures. Everything's going to be different. We didn't want it to be stale at all.
Perfect.
And it works.
This was the,
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, this was a cleaner production line that I was talking about earlier. They just kind of walked past it. If people took a look at it, you can kind of see the progression of what the cleaners have been doing here. It's really cool.
Yeah, there is a narrative storyline happening in West Side Pier, and some of that is exposed and talk about how the factions have arrived and what they're doing here.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the cleaners have been doing, or is that something you want to keep?
Hey, that's, you know, as kind of a story guy, I'd love for players to discover it, but
Okay, no, I'm fine with
no,
that.
they're all I don't want to say driving like they're driving their trucks, but all the factions are driving here for a specific reason, and that's as much as I'll go into.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm excited to find out what the reason is. I legit don't know. So I'm going to have to go through these audio logs myself, which would be really cool. All right. Oh, I'm so glad we got some nighttime in here. This looks incredible, guys.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, the art team crushed it.
Yeah, they continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, and as far as propping and composition and stuff, they're world tier, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. Guys, yeah, there are some FPS drops in this build. This hasn't been optimized. Like I said earlier, this is a dev build, so there are a lot of unoptimized things in there. So do not worry, that is on our
correct.
list of things to do. But we wanted to
I
make
love
sure
that
that we
boss.
show you where we're at, because I think that's really important.
Right.
I'd love to get to the point where we can show you white box stuff, but
Oh man.
not,
That'd be great.
not today. Not today. Guys,
Yeah.
why didn't you put textures on anything?
We just forgot.
Oh, I just forgot. Oh, no textures. Oh. All right, so there are, what are those activities called? I saw a couple of them on the map earlier. Where you have the
So-
waves of enemies coming in. What are
Yeah,
they?
so those are the alerts. So if you look like on their mission tracker right now, they have an alert that's unauthorized access. And so their goal right now is to reach the area. And then the objective will kind of update as it pulls you through it. This one in particular is, well, we'll see when we get here in just a second.
Okay.
But it's kind of a defend sequence.
We know, because those sequences are quite long, right? We're not gonna have time to go through those today because they are quite massive.
These particular alerts can be, I wouldn't say they're all terribly long, but they're a huge pace changer from the normal flow as you move around West Side Pier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're kind of pushing them to be, around the neighborhood of 3 to 5 minutes of really heightened combat, and really kind of continuously mix up the pace of just the West Side Pier's experience.
Guys, that wasn't a pun. I used massive in the sense not close to the studio.
It's all right.
I should have said Redstone. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Again, we don't have a release date for this yet, guys. We wanted to show you some early stuff, but we'll be showing you more. There's a lot coming in 1.8. People may have noticed on the map that sometimes there's D-Tech outside the dark zone. What
you
is
just
up?
dropped it.
What is up with that?
Yep, D-Tech is the long forgotten resource in the game, and we wanted to make it important again. So
Okay.
there's a new way that we're going to allow players to optimize their gear, and it's
Okay.
going to use D-Tech.
Okay. I think.
Alongside some other resources, but yeah.
Okay.
D-Tech is going to be super useful again.
Okay. Good. So,
We
are
understand.
you saying that people should stockpile D-Tech? Is that?
I'm just saying it's going to be used in 1.8.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's up to them.
But we'll
Uh,
have information on exactly how and what and where and why at some point. But that's not a today thing.
Right on.
All right.
Yeah, we're very cognizant of the fact that not everyone enjoys the dark zone, and right now that's the only place you can get D-Tech. So this was perfect.
Yep. Dark Zone's still going to be a good place for you to go farm and get your D-Tech. I mean, we all remember kind of doing those D-Tech runs early in the life of the game. That was like a nightly activity, man. It was fun.
I'm
so
very fond of that.
Yeah, pulling some of that back, but also giving you a really great alternate method here in the Westside Piers for players who just want PvE.
I see already people in chat saying, like, I completely forgot about D-Tech. Where is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
All right, so they've completed their Westside Piers alert.
Nice.
They got some loot. All the loot here is obviously placeholder.
Yeah.
And look, they got 5 division tech and some target intel.
That's handy.
Okay. All right. There are also in the underground is something that you will see changes to in 1.8 as well, guys. I've seen some people in chat talking about it. That's not something we're going to be talking about today. That's Reflections are working on that one, so we'll have to get Reflections on it to chat about that. But there's some really exciting changes to the underground, so we'll get there.
Sure is.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to show off before we wind this up?
You know, I mean, there's a ton more POIs and stuff that we could kind of go through and kind of little subsystems. Like, I think there's some neat things in here, like every, 15 to 20 minutes, you're given a new Westside Piers assignment. So this is something different than the daily assignment. There's more variety to them, but it's just little sub-combat goals, right? So we're trying to kind of layer your activities and really make this just a fun place to have some dynamic PvE. So you might get one that's kill 15 enemies with your sidearm, and the next one might be kill 20 enemies within 10 meters. And they're just these little sub goals that push you to play differently, and it's pretty it's nice. And you can also complete them during resistance.
Yeah, all the pacing, everything's layered to be paced properly, and as you probably saw, you get field proficiency here. So we just it's a constant loop of reward and feeling good and accomplishment, and help you work towards maybe your D-Tech goals, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really trying to push these different loops. So you might come out here and do dynamic Westside Piers content for a while in order to get division tech, to use the new optimization station, to improve your gear, to get back in resistance, and it just kind of keeps you in the game playing, progressing your character.
Awesome.
You guys should have helped that civilian. There's a commendation for that. help 10 civilians, so you can't just pass that up.
I went out and helped my 10 civilians.
Nice. So we'll hang out for a few minutes and just let these guys walk around, and I'll take some questions from chat. Obviously, yes, there are currently issues with some 1.7 things that we talked about earlier, the RPM glitch and those sorts of things. If you want to know what we were talking about a little bit earlier, you can go back in the stream and check that out. We didn't have a chance to go over what's happening with leaderboards and masks for Global Event 2, did we? We kind of jumped straight in.
Okay.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
We did?
We jumped right in, and we can talk about leaderboards and masks.
Yeah.
We made the decision to take masks off of leaderboards. We know that they're awesome looking and everybody wants them, and so generally speaking, masks will be tied to the playlist commendations in the global event, and one will be relatively easy to get and the others will be more difficult, maybe requiring group play, maybe not, but the leaderboards will still exist.
Cool.
There'll still be rewards associated with leaderboards, but the masks themselves are going to be pulled off of the leaderboards.
That's awesome. So those, from what I saw, the leaderboards will give out classified caches. Is that correct?
That's
Yep.
correct.
We're going to keep that moving forward. We really liked how that played with people maybe who were close to completing a set. They collect their leaderboard classified cache, and maybe it's that piece that completed it for them and rounded out their global event experience. So that will continue forward, but the hot, new masks are available to everyone if they complete these commendations.
Right. They're pretty difficult.
I see someone else bringing
Some
up...
of them are pretty difficult.
Someone else is bringing up is their new hipfire. I think they've noticed in the gameplay build that we're running right now. It looks a bit different.
We have made some adjustments to hipfire. That's correct.
Yes, there are a number of balance changes, coming with 1.8, right?
Okay.
One of the big ones is definitely a rework to hipfire, and that it plays into wanting to continue getting more competitive PvP for skirmish, and also just kind of improve the overall experience to the game. So we are a cover shooter. We want to make hipfire viable, but not the end-all be-all. So some things that are changing is you'll see the reticle is gone while hip firing. And also some of your aiming speeds are a little closer to your ADS down the scope speeds. So it just kind of, tightens up the experience and makes it feel a little more tactical.
That's cool. Is this?
We wanted to make it. Yeah, we just wanted to make it so someone that's hip firing doesn't force you to hip fire because of the advantages hip fire had before.
Okay. So is this kind of
we're
going
getting
to
some
that
good
whole
feedback.
chicken dance discussion that that a lot of people are bringing up?
It is a big part of the chicken dance for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The other thing I've seen people, now I've lost it. The chat's moving so quickly. I'll try and grab it soon.
Go chat.
Sorry about that, guys.
Go chat, go.
Slow
Go
down.
chat, go.
Here it is. New rogue system? Question mark?
Yes, we have also made a number of changes to Rogue. We'll give all the details about that later, but
Yeah.
kind of as a high line, we've always wanted to give the Rogue a more rewarding loop, right? That means, going rogue and manhunt and stuff like that. So,
But also for the hunters.
yeah, not hunters, the AI, but people that hunt rogues.
People who hunt rogues.
Okay,
So
wow.
there
Be
are
careful.
extensive changes to the Rogue system.
All right, that's great. We'll probably have to go in depth on the rogue system
Oh yeah,
at some point, not
it
today.
deserves its own call.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
But,
Yeah.
but we could probably spend a good 30 minutes to an hour just chatting about it. Well, probably a lot longer, but we'll have to keep it digestible
Yep.
for another day. Maybe that could be a long-form podcast. Why don't we could actually just see if that could be something we do in another format. Anyway, I'm just spitballing. We could see what we do with that. But yes, rogue changes.
Get me on a plane, baby. I'll be.
The people are asking resistance and skirmish. We will not be showing those today. You will see them in the coming weeks, but just not today. We have time. There is no release date for 1.8. I see another question here. Is there weapon balance in 1.8?
There is a continued push for better weapon balance, absolutely.
Okay.
We're making some targeted adjustments to some of the exotic weapons. We're improving LMGs and kind of making them more viable. And we're also reworking some of the weapon bonuses, like plus flat weapon damage is getting replaced with a percentage of weapon damage to kind of promote guns with lower RPMs.
Great. So
Yeah,
Savage
love and
Gloves
respect
with
to low
other
RPM.
ones. All right, awesome. Oh, that's great. People are going to be very happy about that, I'm sure. I mean, I haven't even seen chat. But
Yeah.
they're going to be happy about that one. I guarantee it.
Go chat.
Very cool.
There are a lot of, I think, really quality balanced improvements coming with this patch.
You're biased.
Yeah.
Well, just saying.
He's right though, because we still play the game and we still hear all of you and agree with you. So
I just saw that
we're
Yannick
up on-
opened one of the caches and it had a level 1 something. Perfect. Nailed it.
Beautiful.
Dev build, hashtag dev
Working
build.
as intended.
Hashtag. Yep.
Perfect. I love it. That's so great. Obviously, there are a lot of classified gear sets that haven't been released yet. There will be some before 1.8, and there will be some after 1.8, which will obviously be part of the landscape as we go forward. Yes, there will be new
Yep.
ones.
Part of the global event.
Yeah, I'm very excited about some of those new ones. Will there be new commendations in 1.8?
Let's just say there's a lot to test on this PTS.
Yes. We don't have a PTS date either. I see people asking about the PTS. We will get there. We don't have that yet. But I think maybe you guys could yell at Tony and just check that he doesn't want to show off anything else. And we can...
Tony, you want to show up anything else?
All right, we're good?
I think he's good. The fog kind of ruined the PO I love.
It's very dramatic looking, though.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There's the Intrepid. Can't see it.
Okay. All right, very nice.
That good New York weather.
You have a chance to do your final emote, Yannick. Don't mess it up.
Play the violin. Oh!
That's pretty good.
Great. All right. We can come back and just wrap up this stream. Okay. Thanks everyone. Peter, can you switch it to the super source so we can get both of us on here? Nope. It's the red. Nope, the red one that says SSRC. You might need to click on it.
Don't hit the red
You're
button.
gonna get it
Stop it.
one day.
I'm clicking the SSRC.
Is it on the preview or on the live one? We'll get there. He'll figure it out. We can just switch back and forth. Okay. Yes. Anything you guys want to say before we head off?
Just that There's so much.
So yeah,
I know you've said it already, but there is so much, and I can't wait to talk about all of it.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like we could do many of these streams and still have new stuff to be introducing. And I want this version of the game out. I can't wait to play it at home.
Me too.
And yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Okay. I need to clarify. Yannick's asked me to clarify something. West Side Pier consists of 2 zones. So West Side Pier is 2 zones.
Yeah,
we see there are 2
Yes.
zones. West Side Piers are those 2 zones, and they have their own names. And I can't remember what they are. Clinton and something else.
That's correct.
Or something.
Yeah, still working on those names.
Yeah. So again, dev build, so there'll be some things. One last question for you guys, and I like this one, and maybe we don't want to have to say too much. New weapons? New weapons in 1.8?
New exotic weapons. How about that? Is that good?
I can go with that. We'll leave it there. That's a great way to end it. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm gonna mute you guys now. But thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, we are done for today. Yannick, I mean, you're free to join me if you want. Do you want to come and say hi before we run off? No, you can come and sit down here. We can switch. I like it.
All right.
All right, you can just clip that one on for a second. I don't feel right doing a stream without Yannick in it.
It's kind of weird because now I'm sitting at like your place and you're sitting at mine.
I told you it would be
it's kinda
musical
weird.
chairs today. How was it? You hadn't actually done that before.
No, it was the first time I was playing it.
What do you think?
It was fun. It's
All
just, like, especially when it's a new zone, so you don't, like when you play The Division, you're so used to it that you know where the spawns are, you know everything. Now it's a new zone, so first, like, that was really, like, legit the first time I played it, so I didn't really know where I was anyway.
Yeah, this isn't one of these rehearsed things where I'm like, Yannick,
and just,
what did you think of this?
Just the fact that, the NPCs are coming from everywhere and all these, different factions working together and everything makes it very, very confusing, but fun. So, for the first time, that was a lot of fun.
That's true. I am like, I have a nervous energy, not because I'm nervous. I've dealt with chat salt before, that's fine. But like looking at West Side Piers and knowing that skirmish and resistance are what they are and the world has all these things, I'm just like, give me 1.8.
Give me something. Give me more.
Do it. I'm sorry for all the cringe, but I just can't help it. I need me some 1.8. This stream was just bait. It wasn't bait. It's just the start of a long line of streams to show you about what 1.8 has.
Yep.
So I appreciate your feedback, but I'm excited. Yeah. Yannick, say something in French before we head off. What's it going to be?
Baguette.
Wow, nailed it.
Wow. You didn't see that one coming, right?
So here's what we're going to do. Yes, we talked about 1.7. There's, the RPM glitch. There are lag issues. Those haven't changed. The fact that we're talking about 1.8 now doesn't change how we feel, not about feel, what the reality of 1.7 is.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of 1.7 to be had before we get to 1.8, and we'll continue to keep talking about it, okay? Anything else before we head off, Yannick? We could start the whole state of the game again now that we're both back.
It's fine. You had better. I mean, come on.
I know. Well, Peter, how was it?
Scary.
Scary.
Scary, but
That's fun.
good.
Chat's always
That's
nice.
fine.
Okay, so what would be great now? Obviously, you haven't seen a lot of the gameplay stuff that's coming with 1.8, but the thing you know about hipfire changes, the new AI spawning system, the way that a lot of the stuff works in 1.8, but not all of it. So let us know what you think so far. Come in and chat with us.
Yep.
Yes. Why don't you answer our question? What's the use of chat? We do. We don't answer all of them. PTS when? We don't know. Global Event 2 start? Probably 1 or 2 weeks behind schedule, but pretty close.
For PTS, I think we can say that it's like we're still working on the build. As you've seen, there's still a bunch of stuff that needs to be worked on. I had a bit of FPS drops, and there was a bit of issues here and there, and some collision stuff and all of that. So all of that needs to be fixed. But I think, it's safe to say that we're looking at doing a PTS in the weeks to come. So that's definitely going to be a September thing. But as to when in September,
well, September's
we don't know
tomorrow.
yet. Yeah,
Is it
but
tomorrow?
during the month of September. That's what I
Alright.
mean. It's going to start during the month of September.
I do want to say quickly, so there will be a stream next week. I feel bad because we're kind of dropping Peter right in the deep end because neither of us will be here.
Yep.
Have fun, man.
It's going to be all Peter next week.
It's going to be awesome. Yes, I'll be in. We'll be in different countries, so there's not a lot we can do. Yes, if you missed any of the news, I know Wids is asking about hipfire and those sorts of things. You'll need to go back in the past broadcast. I'll put this up as a podcast in just a second. Just a second. It'll probably take me half an hour, and then we'll be good. Yes, that's all for today.
Yep.
Have a great day. Don't forget the special event on the weekend.